Welcome to the Mystic Psychology Podcast. I am really happy that you are here in the space where your spirit meets your everyday life and your energy becomes your guide. I'm Charlotte and I'm here to walk beside you as you reconnect with your truth, your intuition, and the deeper layers of who you truly are. Welcome to this next episode of the Mystic Psychology Podcast. I'm Charlotte. I'm super happy if you're here again. And if you're new, I'm Charlotte, as I just said, and I'm the founder of the Mystic Psychology Academy. I teach energy work in a very grounded way, and I combine it with psychology. I also am an intuitive and channel medium and a coach. And this episode is about something super essential and a key into your life because I see it all the time as the key to energy work, to your life, to everything. And imagine for a second, your life would be complete bliss every single day. You would be completely clear, no uncomfortable emotions, no fear, nothing, just bliss. Now, sorry to disappoint you at this point, but it won't happen. And the thing is, a lot of people have this idea, or many clients have that idea, that one day it will just be like this. Just bliss, just happiness, just love, just compassion. But the truth is, maybe this is not possible, but there's something else possible. And that is being fulfilled and being okay with everything how it is, knowing that is exactly how it's supposed to be. A deep knowing of that everything is exactly how it's supposed to be. And now imagine that for a moment and feel into your body. What does that thought do to you? If you knew you could be fulfilled and you knew that everything has its right way of being, that everything is okay exactly as it is. And most people, I don't know if it was like for you like this, but most people would answer it's a sense of calm, peace. And this is exactly the key to it. It's awareness. It's being in the present moment. So this episode is dedicated to awareness and being present in the moment as something that can really change your life. And especially if you want to go into that work of energy work and psychic capabilities and your unique energetic gifts, this is super, super important. But generally, it's just super, super important in our life to be present and aware. Now, for me in my life, it was like this, that I was constantly struggling with my mind. And I think in the Western, especially in the Western civilization, we all are kind of, not maybe not all, but a lot of people are. And our brain is programmed to keep us safe. And the way it does it is to always project into the past or into the future. And we're constantly repeating our past into the future. So we're kind of, what have I experienced? And we're projecting it into the future. And the brain is constantly doing that. So we're constantly kind of projecting. And fears come, and struggle comes, and uncertainty comes, and fear and suffering. And of course, it's the same for me when I'm caught in my mind. And before I was meditating and before I was actually practicing awareness and being present, it was even worse because I was in a constant fight and flight mode. I was anxious. I was constantly worrying about my future. I was constantly thinking about, oh my God, how is everything going to be? And how is that going to be? And what is the solution? And blah, 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 blah. And it was an ongoing story. And I can see that also in my clients and in my participants. They constantly have questions of, but why is it like this? And why is it like that? And how's that going to be? And how is that going to be? And why can't I see this? And why can't I do that? And there's a constant mind fuck. Let's put it this way. Let's put it the way it is. The monkey mind. It's like hopping around and giving you a hard time, and it's disconnecting you from your soul, from your essence, from connection, from who you actually are. And it's the same with me when I'm in my mind and when I find myself again, in my mind, worrying about the future or going my past in my victimhood and being like, oh, I'm so bad. What happened to me? But today versus before me, the Charlotte in the past didn't know that she could meditate and practice awareness. And today it's the difference, because I learned through meditation and practicing awareness that I am not my thoughts and I am not my emotions. I am something else than my body, my mind, and my emotions. And of course, it's a path. It's not, I am not enlightened, and I'm not saying I'm enlightened. It's really a path of cultivating this muscle of bringing yourself back and back and back and back again into the present moment. And sometimes it's easier and sometimes it's more difficult. So when my participants come and they want to learn about their unique energetic gifts, and when they start looking for who am I, because most people who come to me, most of them want to learn about energy work and becoming an excellent energy worker and their unique capabilities and how they bring that energy work into the world. And some clients come to me because they want to know, who am I? When this question is being asked, or when these two things are put into the room, then there's a lot of expectations, and I can see it in their faces. All these expectations, how it's supposed to look like, and how everything is supposed to be, and how everything is supposed to evolve, and how everything is supposed to turn out, and what will they do with it in their life, and what is my purpose. So many, many questions. And I want to go into that in the podcast right now. What is awareness? Why does it play such an important role in our life, and also in energy work, and in finding our unique energetic gifts, and in finding our purpose? And how can we cultivate awareness? So my participants come, they have a lot of expectations. And one thing I cultivate in the weeks I work with my participants, because it's always a whole week, is to bring them back to see what is here in the present moment. And why do I do that? Because only when we see what is here in the present moment, we can actually see what wants to be created through us, what wants to be seen, what wants to be lived, what wants to be acknowledged in this moment, so we can proceed, so we can expand. So what is awareness? Awareness is being in the present moment without judgment, witnessing without judgment what is there. And not only witnessing on a physical level, but witnessing in a mental level. So what am I thinking? What are my thoughts? And what am I creating through my thoughts? And what am I witnessing on an emotional level? So what am I feeling? And where am I feeling it in my body? And also on an energetic level, what is my energy right now? What is in my energy right now? So in so many levels, physical level, how does my body feel? What can I witness in my body? Pain or lightness or whatever it is. And witnessing all that in a manner of non-judgment. And this is super important, non-judgment in the present moment, just witnessing. Because becoming that means you become the watcher of whatever is there. It's kind of you watch, okay, what is here in a neutral way and just witnessing it. And that means that everything is allowed to be here. Every emotion, it doesn't matter how uncomfortable, it doesn't matter how comfortable, it doesn't matter if it's fear or hate or joy or love or trust, it doesn't matter. But everything is allowed to be here. And ultimately, that means that you start seeing what is happening in your system. It means that you start actually only then realizing what is actually happening here, right now, and what wants to be seen in order I can move on. And the benefit of it is that maybe you don't feel bliss, maybe you feel hate, but you allow yourself and you give yourself permission that it's here, that it's allowed to be here. Maybe you can feel stubbornness. Maybe you can feel quietness and stillness. Maybe you can feel joy. It doesn't matter because all of it is you. We are human beings. We are here to feel all of it, the comfortable and the uncomfortable. And by putting the uncomfortable away, you are actually trying to cut away half of yourself. You're cutting off your energy. You're cutting off your flow. You're cutting off what wants to be created and born through you because of your judgments. So I want to give you an example of that in real life of one participant I had. So I had a participant and she was very stubborn. And she really, really didn't want to be stubborn because stubbornness was something that was so judged about in her childhood and also in the society of being something bad, in being something you don't want to be, of being egoistic. But actually, her way, her character is stubborn. So all her life, she started suppressing this stubbornness and she started to just try to be love and light and peace and all this kind of things. But ultimately, she suppressed who she really was, and that was stubborn. And that wanted the soul wanted to actually experience that. So what happened was she cut herself off of her energy. She felt low, she felt frustrated, she felt all these kind of uncomfortable emotions because she was stuck. And by acknowledging her stubbornness, she started to become more alive again. She started not judging it. She started, okay, it's just what it is. It's not good or bad. It can be destructive, but it can be constructive. People who are leaders can be very stubborn. Who create something can be very stubborn because they go forward, they do it. They are just makers, they're doers. So by not judging herself, by just becoming aware what is here and what wants to be seen in the energetic field, in your body, in your emotions, in your minds, you start becoming closer to what wants to flow through you. You actually only then start seeing what wants to come through you. And by not wanting all the uncomfortable, you are starting to bypass who you really are. And in spirituality, a lot of times people do that, especially people going to spirituality, energy work, often are people who try to put the uncomfortable away and they just want to be bliss and love and compassion and all that happiness. Because also spirituality and that whole scene is kind of conditioning us to believe that it's this way. But actually, compassion and love and all these emotions are just one part of a whole part of emotions. And there's a kind of interesting development because once you start accepting and not judging who you really are in all aspects of you, who you are, and just becoming aware of what is there without judging it in the present moment, you actually start feeling fulfilled and feeling present and feeling that what you are looking for, actually. This is what you're actually looking for. Because it's not the superficial bliss, but it's more that feeling of being connected and being whole, fulfilled. So awareness is the first step to actually realize what wants to come through you and what is here right now that wants to be seen and felt and listened to, or whatever it is. And once that happens, then also in energy work, you are truly becoming a channel. So in energy work, it's about becoming a channel for energy, universal energy. At least how I teach it, it's that way. I teach Reiki, and I help people to actually channel universal energy in order to supporting people with energy, and on a physical level, on a distance level, in the quantum field, it doesn't matter. And to experience that, it's about cultivating awareness in the first place. So this is what I do also with my participants. The first thing I start doing is cultivating awareness. And that is when blockages are released. That is when huge transformations happen. That is when clarity comes. That is when peace comes. That is when everything falls into place and you just start becoming. I am becoming. And it's that feeling of connectedness I mentioned. And that, of course, is the base of energy work. Now, how can you start cultivating awareness? And of course, it's through meditation, because meditation is actually the tool for cultivating awareness. This is what it's all about, doing that. And it's about becoming just aware of your thoughts, emotions, and physicality. Many people think meditation is becoming no mind, so that there's no thoughts. But actually, meditation is becoming aware of what is here in the present moment. That is one of the biggest misunderstandings, because many people think meditation is just about sitting there and not thinking, but it's not. It's about becoming aware of what is here in the present moment. So meditation is one way to do that. And I will actually record for the next episode a body scan meditation that will help you to cultivate awareness in your body, which ultimately trains that muscle, and that will help you to return to the present moment. What you can also do that brings you into the present moment is journaling, for example, but it's really meditation that I recommend. For now, I want to just give you one little tool that will bring you into that awareness. And I want you to sit down in a very comfortable position. You can also lay down if you want, whatever you want. It's just going to take a few seconds or a moment, this exercise. And I want you to put your hand somewhere on the body. And it doesn't matter where, just intuitively place it somewhere. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. And now just bring all your attention to the hands and just feel your hand on the body, wherever it sits, and feel how the surface of your hand is touching your body. And just become aware of it. And when thoughts come, it's normal. Just let them go again and bring your awareness back to the hand. Always come back to that hand. And just become aware how that hand is touching your body, how it feels. What can you sense on the palm? For example, can you sense the skin or fabric? What is it you can sense? Is it rough or soft? Just watch what you can sense. Maybe you can sense your hand is cold or warm. Maybe you can sense a pressure that your hand gives on your body, or a lightness. and just become aware. Beautiful. And literally, this is how easy it is. Now, I have many participants or clients that say, "What? This can't be it. It's so easy." Yes, but it's in the ease where the truth lies. And when you just become aware, even if you just practice it for one moment a day, and you can do it with your hand, you can do it with your breath, by watching your breath, it doesn't matter. It's just about staying in the present moment and realizing what is there. And that is how it starts. That's how easy it is. And I had a participant in my last course, she also said she felt peace. And then she said, is that all it takes, is to actually become aware of that peace? Yes, that's exactly what it takes. Just becoming aware of whatever there is right now in this present moment. I wish you a wonderful day. I see you, I hear you, I feel you, because we're all connected. I wish you all the best and thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here, for your time, for listening, and showing up for your own personal path. If something touched you today, share it with someone who needs to hear it too. And make sure to subscribe and get my weekly newsletter. You can always go deeper at mystic-psychology.com or find me on Instagram. I'd really love to connect to you in person, read your comments and messages. So until next time, stay close to your soul and trust what you feel, follow your intuition, and I can't wait to connect with you again.